So this is the small door latches, or the lock mechanism I need to put on the new door. And part and parcel with the interior is I want to get these installed, as well as the insides of my doors on the new doors, the doors that are on the car. They don't have this part here, because these doors would have had what's called the Deluxe armrests, and I want to install the Deluxe armrests, which are longer. So I'm going to need these. I'm going to need these pieces. So I think what I'm going to do, because I have many armrests for this car, but I happen to have two Deluxe that I painted, and they look quite good. So I'm not going to use the shorter one, because my shorter ones, although they would bolt easily into the car, they're not in very good shape. So it's a little bit of extra work. I'm going to cut out these square tabs here, and I'm going to graft them onto the new doors. So I'll be able to do my Deluxe armrests. So let's cut these first. Let's remove these locks, and the way to do that, I believe, is through this clip here. I've just loosened this a little bit here with the screwdriver, so I think I can pull this out. I think if I pull this out, it will free this up. I'm not 100% sure. Let's just try. Going live, you never know what could happen. I gotta yank this out. Come on. There. Okay, so that's what this is, this spring clip, or whatever you want to call it. Set this down here. Now, is it true that this will just fall out? Oh, maybe it will. It kind of wants to. It kind of wants to, but it's probably, I'm going to have to go from the other side. It's probably somehow still attached. Anyway, I got to get, I'm not going to swap out handles. The handles on the new doors are good. This is what I'm after. Let's look inside. There must be some kind of, maybe a rod or something. How would this work? So when you turn the key, it lifts the button here. There's got to be a rod here. Let's take a peek on the other side and see if we can free that up, and we'll pop these out. Well, I stand corrected. I thought these were attached. Shoot, maybe they're supposed to be attached. Anyway, I just pulled this out. I'm going to slide these into the new doors. I'm hoping that I will be able to make these lock mechanisms work. Sorry. And I'm also going to look. I've got a few keys that came with the car. I'm going to have a peek, see if it'd be nice if one of those keys would work, so I'd be able to lock the car. But if I don't, this car is always going to live in this little building here, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm not worried about anybody stealing this old car. But I definitely want to get these on to plug the big hole that's there. This is quite nice. I mean, this is from 1962 and still spring loads perfect. I'm just going to clean these up a little bit, get that yellow paint off, and that's very nice. So I got the first one. I'm going to get the one on this side, and as I just mentioned, I'm going to cut those tabs off and graft those onto that door. So let's get on with that. So here's my piece cut out of the door. So let's do this times two. Clean up these edges and figure out a way to tack that into the new door. I think this will work. I don't know if this is going to work or if I got to take that off. But anyway, the clips are all in place, so I'm hoping that this will be the answer for my armrests. Alright. Okay, well, I'm back out on the Comet this morning, and you just saw me remove these little pieces here that were on the old door. So I think what I'm going to do today is I'm going to attempt to graft these in. Also, where did I put those? I also have these. I want to install this latch mechanism that you also just saw. If I can sort these things out, then I can install these door cards. They're not looking very good right now because they've been sitting out here. I made these door cards last year, and the glue is coming undone a little bit, but these are my budget door cards, and they don't look like much right now. If you watched my previous video, you saw how I made these. Okay, yes, they look like garbage right now, but I'm confident that we can make these look half decent. This is marine grade vinyl that I simply glued to some old corro-plast, and if you remember, or if you watched, this corro-plast was these were old COVID signs from a couple of years ago from my work. They were being thrown out, so I just traced out the pattern, wrapped them in this marine grade vinyl, and the whole point is to install these in here, obviously. That's going to slide into this stainless steel or aluminum channel, and then I can install my armrests, my window crank, try to finish this interior, and then there's also, I just threw them back here, there's also these kick plates that go down in the footwell. These are all red kick plates that I painted black, one for each side, so I'm going to put those in there, kind of part and parcel with doing this interior. This has been a long time coming. Like I said, it's probably been a year and a half since I put these together. So let's see how this goes. Graft this in place. We'll pull out the Deluxe armrests and figure out where this goes and try to attach it, and try to finish off this inside door panel. Okay, so I'm up here in my loft. I don't know if I've ever filmed up here. This is where I stash all my stuff. That's where my spare doors are, remnants of trim, exhaust manifolds, this Mercury Marauder headlights, all kinds of starters, generators, carburetors. I got a whole bin of new front end parts for the car, pink rims for the Civic. I mean, you name it. This is a spare hood, Michael Cope. This is your hood if you want it. Kind of hard to see, but anyway, pretty good shape. A little bit of surface rust. Anyway, these are the Deluxe armrests, and these are the armrests that came out of the car. And I really don't want to put those back in. They're shorter. It'd be easy. I could just bolt those in, but they're not that nice. And this one has a little bit of an issue here, so I don't want that. I've got these ones. These ones are very nice, and I painted these ones. These ones were originally red. I painted these again about a year and a half ago, and those are the Deluxe armrests I want to put in. That's why I need to graft that extra piece on. So let's bring these down and size these up and see if it's going to work. All right. Okay, so I just got this separated from the back. I drilled out these spot welds, which are kind of weird location. One down here, two together. Anyway, I'm going to take a measurement, try to figure this out over here. Going to clean this up and spot weld this in place. I just got to measure the distance between these two holes and try to make it the same over here on this door card. Okay, let's try that. Okay, well, I've got this lined up the best I can. Let's try to tack this in place. Hopefully I've measured right. Let's see how ugly I can make this. Okay, so I got my piece tacked in there, kind of crudely, but I've got that tacked in. I threw some primer on there just as a little bit of protection. I put a little bit of goop around this fastener because that's how they came from the factory. There's this kind of goopy stuff there because those clips can actually fall out. That's what that stuff is there. It's old, almost looks like some kind of a mastic or something. Anyway, I'll let this set up a tiny little bit. My measurement should be okay. Let's dress this up a little bit, try to slide this into position, and then the hard part will be locating the holes. And I'm going to make a hole for the door crank. Should be able to throw this in. Okay. So while this sets up, of course I got to install my my door latch with my spring clip. So I'm going to work from the other side here. And I'm also going to have to try to reach in and figure out how this thing hooks in. So let me put the camera down. I'll fiddle with this a little bit. I'm not sure if I can. I don't think I can show in here. I don't know if I can show. I certainly never. I can't even see myself in there what's going on. But I don't know. I'll reach in there. There's some kind of a the rod for this is in here, and I think this simply hooks into it and turns it this way. Anyway, let's try to get this in. I do have a couple spare keys kicking around. Sorry. I do have a couple spare keys kicking around. I haven't even tried if any of the keys are good. Not really that worried about it. I mostly want to get this nice little piece in to cover up this hole. So let's try to throw these in and see what happens. Okay, well, this literally took 2 minutes. I got this in. The hook hooks into a small mechanism that's kind of attached to the main door handle, and this all works. This works here. I can lock the car this way. I can unlock it. This is in place and looking quite fantastic. Unfortunately, I do not have a key for this one. I found other keys in the trunk. They do not work in this one. Maybe I could get a key made. Maybe that's something a locksmith could do, rather than, yeah, this, unfortunately, I could technically lock myself out. But maybe down the road we'll address that and get somebody to look at this. Maybe we could have a key made. Shouldn't be too complicated. That looks really good. Happy with that. Okay. Let's jump onto this door card, homemade door card. Let's try to squeeze this in here and see if I measured right and if my Deluxe armrest will fit. Okay, well, there we have it. There's my first one done. That's my homemade door card, my Deluxe armrest, all in place. I added a couple screws there just to tie everything in. There's no clips or anything. This is on the window crank. That works good. This works good. Not bad. Let's jump over to the other side and get this done. Okay, well, here we have it. I'm gonna call it a day for today anyway. Get everything done. I got the other side done as well, and I'm really happy with my homemade door cards. I think I just said that. Anyway, this turned out good. Of course, they would look even better if I had some Armor All or something to wipe them down, because these have kind of been sitting in the car and been sitting in the shed for a while. But anyway, that's my final result for the door cards. I'm very happy. I think I've already showed the rear. I guess they're not really door cards because there's no door back there, but the panel, whatever you want to call it. I made these a while back, like I mentioned, and turned out pretty good. So for now, that was my day today. I still got to come back. Let's come back and do these kick panels. Okay. Okay, well, it's the next day. I decided to come back. After reviewing my footage yesterday, I noticed that there was a lot of bumps, and the vinyl was coming off here. So I, off camera, I pulled this off and I re-glued it. And I probably should have waited a bit longer before I reinstalled it, but I went and put it in. And it's still not perfect. I think there's probably a little bit too much material up here. Anyway, I took some Armor All and I cleaned this up. The other side looks much better. What can I say? One side's nice and the other one is not as nice. But I'm gonna leave it alone. It's yeah, really not happy about that. But I used that. I've used this before, and I don't know what else I could use. I use this 3M and this 3M spray adhesive, and like I said, I've done this before. I did it twice with these door cards, and it's just not as good as you would think, or maybe I just not doing it right, I don't know. Anyway, 3 panels are very nice. That one I like. That one's really good. The one in here is also just as nice, and of course probably the most visible one is the one that's got the lumps and bumps, but so be it. I'm gonna call it for this video. In installing the interior door cards. That's done for now. So what else should I move on to next? I'm not sure what I'll jump into. I need a steering wheel. I did find this, which I really like, and I have a newer one. Well, not newer, but a much nicer one. So that's gonna go on the steering wheel, but my steering wheel is completely trashed. Steering wheels are very expensive, so I don't know what I should do. Just take all this plasticky stuff off and paint it. It'd be awful thin. I don't know if I could find a cover for it. Anyway, that's got to be done. My seat upholstery finally did come in. Been a year and a half. So I got the foam and the skins. So that's probably going to be a winter project. The car needs an exhaust. And I do want, I don't know if I mentioned, I want to put I want to get some air shocks back here to sort of, this car is, it's got leaf springs on the back, but it's quite saggy. And because I've upgraded to the 14-inch rims, most people upgrade these cars from 13 to 14. If you want to take your wheel off, you literally got to jack the car up. Otherwise, there's just no clearance. So I got to do that. I also want to clean this trunk out again, and where I did some welding, where I did the quarters and that, the trunk extensions. I got to come back. I got to seam seal, and I want to repaint this inside of this trunk. So the next sunny day I will do that. But for now, like I said, I'm going to call it on this one. Interior door cards and trim. I did get these on. Very happy with those. I will get keys made for that so I don't lock myself out. And that is all for now. Thanks for watching.